Cup match, right? But yeah, playing this, right? I got it. You set me up. That's all right. I ain't say anything. Try to set me up. That's cool. I got it. Not a problem. I'm still your friend.
You're still trying to build that good.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
For you for that first bowl of the game this morning
That's
for
right.
6 runs.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
You're out of the park. Yeah.
I take it. I can take it. That's a good one. I give you full credit. I give you full credit. That's why I like talking to you because you always come back.
Keep blue and blue. I tell you that.
Thank you kindly.
I have no problem with that.
Yes, you do. You have a problem with it.
No,
You do.
I haven't said anything. I want you bleed blue and blue. You gotta have an opponent. Yeah, you always say that now. An opponent who don't have the cup? Of course. That's
I'm happy. Well, I'm still happy about it.
Me too.
Everyone has their turn.
That's right.
Everyone. I had to wait 20 years. Yeah.
Ours won't be that long.
No?
No.
What you on now?
No.
Well, this obviously this won't count. This year won't count. So it'll be 9 years, isn't it? 2012 will be 8. Okay, this year shouldn't count. In your record? No, how can it be?
Right, you held on to it.
I'm just trying to be fair.
No, you're trying to be funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to be fair. I'm being honest.
Not to worry. Not to worry. Yeah.
All right. Talk to me 8 years from now.
You probably won't be talking to us.
No.
Because it could be a role reverse.
For what?
Then you be mumbling.
Oh no.
Look, as a Jordan's Winnie Cup, we even gonna get these little red microphone lights here.
Turn blue?
That'll be blue.
That means you're not in the year.
Yeah, no. Watch. Plenty of changes going on.
Plenty of changes.
Yeah, man.
A change is coming.
Oh yes.
You and Janika's got it all figured out. Watch out, huh? That's why I checked the school board.
And it's right too. It's correct. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I got you, sister. It's all good. But again, thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm sure you'll be up early tomorrow morning, pounding the pavement, doing your exercise.
Yeah, I'm up 5 o'clock morning.
Nice, mercy. Well done, kid. All right, I'll bring you to one of Dave Wolf's class one day.
I thought about when I had you up talking one day on the radio. I said I was gonna call you and see what how early you like do whatever
Yeah.
To come and try to see what you like do. And Earl say that time about going over that hill.
And when you heard he ain't been up. Okay. I've got too many spies.
I should find see what it's talking about. Let me but
all right, so
I never got around to
Not a problem. I'll tell you what we can do, right? I'll give you some time that you think about it, and we can arrange a special date. Gennaro Chocolate's there as well, so we could do a Sunday morning, which is a 8:15 class, or we could do a weekday 6 o'clock in the morning.
No, I probably prefer a Sunday morning. 8:30?
No, I said 8:15.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. It's all right. You can get time to recover. 24 hours, get you ready for the next day.
No problem. Well, we'll talk about it, that's for sure.
All right, my friend. We definitely do that. We keep you in mind. Now, Earl's looking at me like to say I set him up.
I didn't hear what she said.
She said we can bring Earl with us.
Oh, I'll be working by that time.
I mean, so you can tape it.
Oh no. How do you want this funny? I think to be honest,
whatever.
To be honest, I think you should go watch a class first and then decide. Don't just show up and no. Go and watch. Yeah. Watch first.
What? What? You don't want to listen to me?
Look at me, you know that?
Yeah, my teammate. I would never do that.
Thank you kindly. Yes, thank you kindly. He's got 4 balls left. Well, actually, no, he's got 3 balls left. And the first 3 are going out of the park because I caught him each time. So the umpire told me, the umpire told me, look, I ain't got no more balls. So this be the first international 3-ball over. Get off the ball, man.
Then it was clear as how the coming on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I tell you what, come to class. And I get those 18. I get those 3 balls back.
See, just trying to set you up. Just trying to set you up.
But you asked her, I'll come to class and film.
Yeah. So once y'all know that it told me that you know, I need to watch first.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Come to class and no, that's not it. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah.
That won't lie to me. I'm gonna tell you that.
I'm not gonna,
I'm
Nico. I'm
not
not
gonna
lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie either. I said it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask him
All
how
right.
long. Ask him how long it took him to get adjusted to it.
Mm.
Okay. See, he can't even answer.
No, I am. Hey, girl, it was great. That took me a couple of hours and I was fine. Yeah. Yeah. I did. I like you. I went on a Sunday and worked my way into it. So yeah. I think I've been home that day. I said, all right, I'm gonna see you for 2 hours
Yeah,
after
yeah.
class. It's all good, but look, we'll work on it. We'll bring you there on one Sunday, and I tell you, to do it on the Sunday of Labor Day Sunday, because then Monday you can have recovery.
Okay. We'll talk about that.
Not a problem. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friend.
You too,
All
right?
right, take
All
care.
right.
Take you guys.
All right, take care. We take a commercial break and we come back and we speak to Mr. Peter Dunn. Radio joining us on the phone is Mr. Peter Dunn, the president of the Bermuda Bicycle Association. Peter, I just want you to share with us the big story about yesterday's event so we can have an understanding of it. I was read your stories that were sent over yesterday, and I was stopped in town today about the story, and I was talking to a colleague of based. And just explain to us what it meant, the significance of this story yesterday in your sport.
Thanks. Thanks, Ian. And I actually caught the early part of your show when you and Earl were talking about cycling, so thanks for dedicating so much time to it. And Earl was 100% right in that, when we look at a race like yesterday where we have, there are clearer favorites, the dynamic of the team event, of an event where you have teammates, and of course the variability of the outcomes or the situations that each race presents, creates this potential for the guys who you consider your favorites to be for their teammates or another strategy to come through. And I think in the three races, being the open men, open women, and junior men, the team component of cycling really came forward. It was very obvious. So in the women's race, Caitlin's a highly favored athlete. But she had made one attack, and there was an interruption at the traffic that kind of shut that down. And then the VT Construction Madison team, really, those ladies, took on they were covering her, and they wouldn't let her get away at all. And so that when Rose went, and Caitlin said, "Oh, let her go, and we'll see, we'll chase her down later on," and that actually didn't come to pass. So that was a great victory for and it's a great example of how cycling road racing can work. In the men's race, similar situation. The two guys go up. In some cases, everyone's assumption was that that
Country of
Tyler
60
Smith and
miles an
Jamie
hour
Cousins,
with
which is
40.
out there to soften the chasing guys up, and so that someone else, their teammate would come through. But it's a solid move, and Tyler's a super strong guy, and this is that played right into his hands in terms of the very steady high output that he was able to generate that day. The young men's category, the four strongest guys got away, and they were hammering away at each other. Two guys from the team Knossos and two from Winner's Edge. But as soon as Nicholas Pilgrim came off the pace, all of a sudden it was 2 against 1, and so you had two Winner's Edge guys against Liam Flannery, and so they were able to push in a kind of their own way to their advantage and to Liam's disadvantage. So I think in all three of those races, we saw some really great team tactics, and it's exciting to see that we have that deep the talented cycling rate that we do right now. Pretty good times. Wish we had more races.
Peter, obviously you've been doing a lot of time trials, and to actually see the road race now back, it was exciting because people were using their team tactics to get those victories. But when is do you have plans for more road racing? Because I think the guys kind of like to mix it up a little bit. You think?
Yeah, I mean, we want to. This was the first time that we've had a post-COVID. We're not post-COVID, but a mid-COVID race, and so there's some dynamics that we need to. We want to make sure that we're compliant with all the government health restrictions. And I know you follow the publications that we put out. We have put a lot of emphasis on making sure that we're compliant. And our calendar it's going to be challenging to fill out what we would consider a normal calendar, but we know that we have at least one more. We have a race in September that's going to go on. I'm hoping that we can slot in maybe another criterium before that. That would be so maybe we'll get 2 in September. In October, we'll probably have a criterium championships, and then we'll put on at least hopefully we'll put on another time trial, and then we'll still have the President's Cup race, which will be in its 6th or 7th iteration of that. So yeah, we're still going to keep going on. There are people who are, who choose not to come out and participate in mass start events, mass start riding, and that's, that makes them feel good. I feel bad. My focus is not only just on having local racing, but seeing that there are international opportunities. And I was on a phone call last night with the executive of the Caribbean Cycling Confederation, and a lot of these other islands are really suffering. I listened to Donna Rayner's comments earlier about where the track season is, and we have in Bermuda things are pretty good. I think the government's done a great job in terms of keeping us all safe. But when we then look outside of Bermuda for competition, a lot of these islands are struggling. I mean, Aruba, which had a near perfect record as of the middle of June, now has well over 1,000 cases, and so I think that our public health policy always has to come first, but how we can integrate competitive cycling into that is sort of my greatest interest at the moment, and we probably will wind up having some races to keep guys competitive, but surely not the big ticket items that we were looking towards, including world championships. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to try to make the best of it as we can. I'm glad that this weekend things worked out. As you know, in St. David's, the traffic was rerouted because of roadworks going on, and there's also a lot of COVID testing that takes place in the old White's Grocery parking lot. But people were really good about it, and I was surprised there were actually people spectating, which is good in St. David's area. So I think people enjoyed seeing the racing, and it kind of makes us all feel that somewhere there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that normalcy might return for sport at some point in the maybe not too distant future.
Yeah, I noted early in the year you were having the hill climb time trials going on, which I think gave people the opportunity to get out of the house, because a lot of people were doing the indoor on the internet racing, but the actual getting up the 9 hills I think give them a sense that pretty soon they would have been back in action. And here, just yesterday, we have the Road Race Championships. Um, Again, you were talking about having criteriums. Are you looking to have those centrally located?
We'd like to, and we're, we had to get through a couple things. We have had, first of all, I'm not in charge of the pandemic, so I don't have the luxury of saying exactly how things are going to work. But we knew that we were in lockdown. People moved to the online training platform, and then there was the online racing platform. And then when we came out, we said, okay, we could do these individual because we have methods of tracking where people are and when they're competing. So we did these individual sort of events. Then we moved to time trials, which are proper on-the-road events. And yesterday, even though it was the national championships, it was the first mass start race we had. So we wanted to see how that worked and see if it worked with the protocols that we have, and it seemed to be okay. I would like it to be. I'd like to be return cycling to central location. Hamilton's kind of a normal place. We have to start talking to them to see what their guidelines are and how that works. With making sure that we have the right distancing and things in place for them. And I think that one of the concerns that we've had is because we are generally on either open roads or in the case of a criterium that's a closed circuit, closing roads in Hamilton always disturbs some people. We don't want to tick off everybody. But at the same time, I think yesterday to me indicated that there are actually people who want to see events, and it's actually given us an opportunity to put cycling in a little further forward than it would otherwise when we're competing with say, a traditional, typical heavy sailing season and cricket season and every other sport going on. So I'm hoping that we can find a couple dates where we can put events into Hamilton as long as the corporation's happy with that and we can make it work with them. Because I think people want to see competitive sports. I mean, I've had enough of watching billiards or on Eurosport. It's time for something a little more exciting.
Well, I would like to see a race on a purposely designed track for you guys down at Southside. You could rearrange the Motorsports Park track and have a kind of a race there. That would be very interesting because it'd be flat.
Right.
There are some challenges along the way, but I would like to see that.
It's a great facility. It ticks 7 out of 10 boxes. As you say, the ones that it misses, and I'm going to have to make up 3 now, but there's no terrain change at all.
Right.
So it's pancake flat. And there is a bit of labor associated with reconfiguring it, but it's something that we've never done in the past. When we have raced there, we just use the configuration that the motorsports people have put up. So whether that's best for us or not is debatable. And the other problem is that because the surface is so nice, when it rains, if it rains, which it seems to always do just before those events, there's so much oil and rubber on the surface that it gets quite slick. But other than that, I mean, it's a perfect location. It actually allows us to keep a lot of the distancing regulations that we want to have, that we want to continue to have in place as long as we need to. And it's a good facility for that. It is at one end of the island, but I think our racing committee had made the observation early in the process that 2020 was going to be an atypical year in terms of racing, and we may have to step back and make some concessions, such as always racing in the east, which is it's completely fine for us. It's just people are always looking for variety, or as much variety as they can. But yeah, I think that would be good if we could do it in Hamilton. I'd like to do that as well. And even noting how many restaurants have little seating sections poking into the roads. We could make that work too. That would be kind of fun to have people sipping a coffee while they watch a bike race go zipping by. So I think that this weekend's successes give us some encouragement that we can develop our race calendar a little further. I know it's we don't have a calendar. We're really kind of going month by month, but that's it seems to work. And we had, I guess, there was some initial concern that we weren't going to get many registrants Sunday, but across the 4 categories, we actually had 50 riders this year, and last year we had 49. So I'd say that's an increase, 2% increase, not bad.
Not bad. Obviously, you guys are doing something good. And my final question was actually both regarding the athletes itself or the cyclists. What's the response been like? I'm sure you had a chance to talk to them during this COVID-19. Now that cycling is kind of like making its way back to normalcy.
How is the sport in general, or
the athletes, the ones that are competing? What's the response? Talk to them.
I would say that they're coping pretty well considering. If we had a couple hours, I could tell you all the details of it. We've never had as many strong juniors as we have this year. I mean, never, ever, never. And Chris Hedges, who's now helping me with the junior group, commented a couple of weeks ago before the time trial championships when Chris Hedges, 4 times champion of the Caribbean for time trial, raced in Europe and raced in North America at the same age, he wasn't going as fast as our top 3 kids are.
Wow, that speaks volumes right there then.
That's juniors, plus we've got, Caden and Connor and Nick is still, rolling along, and so next year Nick Narroway moves up to be in the U23 category. The sport right now is really bursting with talent, and we had a very extensive international calendar planned, including potentially taking 6 athletes to World Championships, which was originally supposed to be scheduled at the end of September in Switzerland, but it's not happening there, and there's an attempt to modify it, but it won't have the same audience, I don't think, with the same participants. But, which is a huge commitment on our part, but the athletes are really focused on these big events, and, we're still trying to make sure that Caribbean Championships takes place. If we went, and I've said this to other people, but not in this kind of public forum, but if we win, we would come back with so many, medals from in between the juniors and the elite, that my colleagues in the Caribbean, would stop sending me Christmas cards. Are in the regional competitive level, Bermuda is, probably the strongest in the Caribbean right now for cycling. And we'd like to have our athletes have the ability to demonstrate that. But this year, when we have all these, athletes who are at such a high level, they're not being given the opportunity to demonstrate that. So I give them a lot of credit for hanging on. They're trying to stay motivated. I keep trying to dangle as many potential events out in front of them just to keep them hanging on, because we know that 2021 things will, they'll be improved, and that we'll be able to eventually get back to competition. But if you're 17 years old and you're thinking you're going to get to race overseas 4 or 5 times this year, and if that number goes to 0, that's a very big disappointment. So we're trying to keep them all motivated, but they've done a great job, and you can see by the level of competition from Sunday that they're firing on all cylinders at the moment.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that information, and keep up the good work. You've been in it for quite some time, and as they say, hard work yields rewards. You guys are being rewarded.
Yeah, well, no, we're happy with that. And, we have a great group of kids, and fingers crossed, 5 years from now, we're still in the same position, because the kids that are young people are coming up, older guys will move into categories. But thanks for reaching out to us on this weekend. It was good for us to have an event. Almost feels semi-normal in terms of that racing experience. So we'll keep at it, and hopefully we'll have more, at least things that are closer to Earl's house, so he doesn't have to travel too early on Sunday morning.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's one closer to his house. That's a good one.
To race in like on the island out at by Dockyard, the new one they built for America's Cup. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But the penalty for overshooting the corner would be quite interesting out there.
Definitely.
Big splash into the ocean.
Yeah. I just thinking about that. Right, you're right. Big splash is correct. All right. Thank you very much, Peter. All right. Not a problem. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. We take our last. Oh, you want to say?
No, okay,
Oh, sorry.
okay.
We take another commercial break and we come back. We'll wrap up Inside Sports Talk Radio. And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. I just want to thank our guests that's joining us today on Inside Sports Talk Radio. Donna Rayner, Kelvin Blankendale, Dave Wolf, Gavin Mendes, Danica Wildchild Gibbons, and Mr. Peter Dunn. Thank you all for joining us today, giving us updates on the various sports and what the prospects looking like for each sport. Wildchild, of course, being a sports fan, covering her perspective of sports itself. So I just wanted to thank them all for joining us on Inside Sports Talk Radio. Any final comments, sir?
Yeah, I want to thank Danica for knocking off the ball halfway through it over. But anyway, halfway through it over. They're trying to get the other 3 balls back.
Okay, so all right. That's cool. I have no problem with that. I have no problem because you know I'm come back. You know me.
Listen.
You know me, Bops.
I'm gonna start calling you Major League Baseball umpire.
I see where you're going. I see exactly where you're going.
Have the balls around your waist, just keep getting your pocket.
Right at the place. So I said, I understand where you're going, right? Not a problem. Not a problem. It's all good. And Mr. Bassett, thank you very much for being in control today.
Sir.
All right.
Okay, man.
All right. Again, thank you all. Enjoy